I think we should try and identify the origin of the odd Trinitarian proclamation that God is one in unity. And I say odd because the word unity is only found in Scripture 3 to 8 times, depending on what Bible translation you use. And it's never used in the context of speaking about the person of God. So, where did this idea come from? To answer that question, we have to quickly delve back into the evolving creedal statements of so-called true church. And from my study of early church history, the most likely candidate for the origin of this steadfast proclamation of Trinitarianism is the Attestation Creed, which is universally accepted to represent the orthodox expression of the true faith, despite the extraordinary fact no one knows who wrote it, or when, or where. Let's listen to the intro of it here.
The Trinity is a mystery which cannot be comprehended by human reason, but is understood only through faith, and is best confessed in the words of the Athanasian Creed, which states that we worship one God in Trinity and Trinity in unity.
Now, the aim of this video isn't to unpack the Attestation Creed in detail, nor to expose the entirety of its foolishness, and you can pause the video here and read a little bit more of it at your own leisure. However, it is striking to see how the Creed declares that he, therefore, who wills to be in a state of salvation must worship one God in Trinity and Trinity in unity. Therefore, your faith is not dependent on professing faith in Jehovah, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the Almighty, but rather in Trinity. Although you'll really hear that preached in church these days, despite the fact this edict was enforced through pain of death through much of church history. However, if we focus on the statement, we worship one God in Trinity and Trinity in unity, it is easy to see how this phrase was reduced to a more acceptable phrase. We worship one God in unity. Oh, doesn't that sound lovely, folks? And it's certainly easier on the ears and prevents us asking, why did Jehovah God never call himself Trinity in the book he authored through the inspiration of his own spirit? Sadly, Trinitarian institutions are tragically wedded to the deceptive doctrinal statements of the Orthodox Church, and therefore they must scrabble around like rabbits down a hole, trying to explain how on earth Deuteronomy 6:4 can mean more than Jehovah is a single unique self, but rather is one what, comprised of three co-equal, co-eternal, co-existent, unified persons.